In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the power of the task list to keep you organized, to remind you where you left off or where you have potential problems in your code. So what I'll do to illustrate this is open up my Solution Explorer, and I'm going to double-click on a file that I created. This file exists in the LearnVisualStudio.net website and is part of the iBuySpy portal code. And so as I look through this code here, I may think, you know, I had something I needed to do here, but I can't remember what. I can bring up the task list, and I can see the to-do items and double-click on it, and notice that it takes me to a line of code that says to do, change this to something else. Now I can type anything I want here, and it will become the tagline, anything I want here. And so the next time I look at my task list, I can see anything I want here. This is a great way to remind myself that I've got some things to do in my code. Let's open up another file, this edit contacts, and see what the task list says now. It added something else called a hack. So let's go ahead and double click that. Hack, and then I typed in, I'm not too proud of this one, and we can type anything there that will remind us what that hack was all about. Then I'm also going to open up a third file, and we'll take a look at through it and say, you know, I remember there was something about this, but I can't remember exactly what. And then now we see a third listing called undone. When I double click on that, I can see my undone. Need to come back to this. So this is great. You get three basic keywords that come by default with VisualStudio.net: hack, to do, and undone, that remind you of some of the most basic things that you want to remind yourself of as you're going back through the code. Now, if you noticed as we were going through this that there's one major disadvantage to this, and that is it only shows for the current file that you're on. What I can also do is right-click on the task list and go to Show Tasks, and you can't see it, but here at the bottom says Current File, so that whatever I select here, we'll go ahead and pin this down. Whichever file I select, you'll notice that all of its comments, task list comments, either undone or hack or to do, show up in that. So that's another downside. I wish I could see all the tasks in the project regardless of what file they were in and regardless of whether they were open at that time or not. So I'm going to go ahead and select all so I can see them all, at least in the open files that I have currently. Now, the next section of this video, I want to show you how to add your own keywords that will allow you to add them here and see them as they appear here in the task list. What we'll do is go to Tools, Options, and Environment, and you can see I already had Task List selected. So let's add a new comment token, as they're referred to as, and we'll call it a bug farm, which means it's a highly buggy piece of code that I have. So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to set its priority to high and change it so that it adjusts it to a high priority. And what are the priorities for? Well, they're just a sorting mechanism within the tool. You'll notice that we have an additional one here, unresolved merge conflict. I believe that's put there by Visual SourceSafe. So now that we've added our new one, Bug Farm, I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and we'll look at our Solution Explorer, and we'll open up another file where I've already typed in this comment. I believe I did that. No, I didn't. Okay. So let's go ahead here, Bug Farm. Wow, I really screwed this up. And so now you'll notice that not only is it added, but it's added to the top of the list because this column sets the priority, and I can adjust for that by simply sorting on this priority column. The next thing I'm going to demonstrate is how to use a task list shortcut. And so I have one of my files open, and I want to remember to get back to this line of code because I need to do something with it in just a moment. So I'm going to right-click and select Add Task List Shortcut. And when I do, you'll notice that over here in this column, you see a little arrow, and then you'll also see an additional line that's added here in your task list. So if I'm in some other part of the code and I need to get back to that point, what I'll do is double-click the little arrow here, and when I do, it opens up that file and puts me on that line that has that shortcut. I can also use this handy little checkbox that tells me, oh, I don't need to remember to do that anymore. It crosses out that line for a visual reminder. And also, if I want to get rid of this, all I can do is just right-click and select Remove Task List Shortcut, and it's gone. Finally, I want to show some of the things that you can do to modify the view of the task list. If I right-click on it, I can select several things. Here, let me pull this up just a little bit more so you can see everything here. I'm going to right-click and select Show Tasks, Show the Comments, so these are things that I've added in. Show Build Errors. This would show a list of all the build errors. Show any users that have defined things. Show only the shortcuts. So if I just left that shortcut there, it would be the only thing that appeared in my list. And show any policies. And these are things that we can add when we use enterprise templates. And that's a topic for a future date. But most of the time, if you're like me, I want to see all, and so it'll show me everything. Additionally, I can choose to sort by priority, which I have in this case, or by description, or just take the default. And so there's a lot of ways to sort this list and do things like that. So the task list is a pretty helpful tool if you remember to use it. The ability to add your own comment tokens, very helpful. The ability to create task list shortcuts, very helpful in reminding yourself of things you need to do or lines of code you need to get back to. So this is a great tool if you can remember to use it on a daily basis. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about the task list and how it will make you even more productive than you already are. Thank you. Have a great day.